You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burnt by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why I made the switch to Mint Mobile. With Mint, you can get the coverage and speed you're used to, but for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chilling, literally and financially. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3 month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/ratchet. That's mintmobile.com/ratchet. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent of $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet. But I'm trying not to waste money on pieces that I'll only wear once or for just one season. That's where Quince comes in. Think 100% European linen tops starting at $30. Washable silk dresses and skirts and soft cotton sweaters. Versatile warm weather pieces that you'll reach for again and again. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/ratchet for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/ratchet to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ratchet. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. I am back from, where was I? The Virgin Islands. I did the US and I did the British Virgin Islands. I went for my birthday trip. I was supposed to be there 5 days. I ended up staying 10 because I only did the US Virgin Islands. I was like, well, since I'm here and, BVI is right there, I should just go on over to Tortola and then, Virgin Gorda. So I ended up doing 4 islands over 10 days. Amazing birthday. Really, really good. For most of my trip, I had been carrying around this 470-page book, The Best Man, Unfinished Business, by Malcolm D. Lee, who created the Best Man franchise back in 99, and Jayne Allen. She's the author of, there's a Black Girl trilogy, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, Black Girls Might Be Magic, and Black Girls Have It All. I've been following her work for a really long time. I was carrying around this bag because all I did was go to the beach or lay by the pool every day. So I'm carrying this book around, but I spend this exhaustive amount of time organizing all the pictures in my saved folder on Instagram and then cleaning up all of the screenshots I've made from random stuff I want to purchase or just stuff I like. I made folders of it in my phone. Real like neurotic, nerdy stuff, but I feel like I have order to my life. So one day I go to the beach. I remember to bring my phone. I remember to bring my charger, but I forget to bring the cord. So basically the charger's useless. So I'm like, well, I can't sit here and scroll on my phone all day because it'll die. But I have this book. I might as well read it since I've been carrying it around. So I crack open the book and I literally read the whole thing in 24 hours. I could not put it down. I read on the beach. I got sunburned because I forgot to spray. I forgot to turn over because these characters are people that I've known since the Best Man came out when I was a senior in college. I was living abroad at the time and I came back and everybody was like, Morris Chestnut, Morris Chestnut, Morris Chestnut. And I was like, who the hell is Morris Chestnut? And they were like, you know him, like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. And I was like, I mean, he's all right, but I didn't feel like he was anything to see. Like he was cool. And they were like, nah, you got to see The Best Man, D. Like Lance and that cross. And I was like, Lance, the cross, what? I finally go to see Best Man like super late. I don't remember if it was still in theaters. I had to wait till it came out on DVD. I think we had DVDs by then. We did. But baby, the first time I saw Lance, oh my God, I've been obsessed with Morris Chestnut over half my life. But in addition to Morris Chestnut, I meet these wonderful characters who are like my big cousins. I'm just about to graduate from college, and here are these characters who are set in their careers. They're high powered, they're accomplished, they're glitzy and fabulous, but they're also fun and relatable. Never in a million years did I think I would still be obsessing and legit wanting to know what's going on in their lives like they're real people 26 years later. But that's what happened. I crack open the book on the beach, and it starts with Harper-ing. You know, he got issues. He tries to be a good person. I really don't think he means much harm, but he causes it nevertheless. And then Jordan, who has always been kind of like my guiding light. And then there's Robyn. Robyn never really should have been in the friend circle because she's not in the friend circle. She's Harper's wife. She's an outside. So she's there because she's with Harper and other people. Well, Candace, because Candace is kind of an outsider. Candace is married in. But we took to Candace. We never really took to Robyn. But you know, she's Harper's wife and Mia's mom. So, you know, she's there. And then obviously, you know, Quentin, he's the king of the one-liners. Shelby, I love Shelby. She is the full embodiment of ratchet and respectable. And then Mia, rest in peace. I mean, the original Mia, not like Harper and Robyn's Mia. And then Birch. He just sensitive. He don't mean no harm. But unlike Harper, he don't really cause harm. He gets harmed. You hear me talk about these people like they're legit real people. I say all that to say, I cracked open this book and I laid there in the sun and got burnt. Some things happened in this book where I wanted to pick up the book and throw it into the ocean. There are several incidents in this book. You will scream, WTF. Ain't nobody present got no better sense than this. No, these are grown people at 50. I remember being like 20 something and thinking, even 30 something, and being like, ooh, 50-year-olds, like, you know, they have it all together. Their lives are all figured out. And then, you know, not being so far away from 50 now, I'm just like, do I figure it out sometime soon? Because it ain't figured out yet. I'm far less judgmental now. But no, it was a really, really good read. And I said as much online. I did a mini review, and the authors of the book happened to see, I mean, I did tag them, but the authors of the book happened to see what I said and then came in the comments and had dialogue about it. And I was like, wouldn't it be fun if I called them up so we could chat about this book? So I was sitting at the airport because my ferry got back to the mainland at like 12:30, and then like my flight didn't leave till 4:30. So I was sitting at the airport last Thursday arranging interviews. I spoke to them on Monday. 5 minutes into the conversation, I immediately understood why I'm obsessed with the Best Man franchise because Malcolm D. Lee writes it. We started talking, and we have a friend in common. It was like talking to a cousin. I completely get why all of his projects get greenlit. He's so fun and so lovable and also likable. And I was like, oh, the characters that I love came out of your head. And like now meeting you, it completely makes sense why I love all your work. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but there's the Best Man, and then there's also Girls Trip. I got details out of him on Girls Trip too. And then like Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, which I used to just watch on repeat all the time. I would put it on to go to sleep or just sometimes just have it as background. He creates really likable people because he's likable. So I spoke to Malcolm and Jayne about their latest book, The Best Man, Unfinished Business. Forgive me, I had to nerd out a little bit about the writing and creating because, you know, I'm a writer and I'm talking to writers. Like, it's you got to give me grace. But we do get into the book and we do talk about these characters and we do give no spoilers. That was important because I want people to be able to read the book and go crazy and gasp and scream and yell WTF and want to throw it or push it off the table or rip out the pages because it really is that serious. Because there are like Robyn girl, but then also Harper, friend, cousin, sir. Jordan, who usually always has it together, like, ma'am, if you don't bring it down to a 10, because you're at 20 over a situation that should be 4. Like, what? Yeah. Our fictional family, our cousins, are going through it. So, no more from me. Let's get into the interview. Malcolm D. Lee, Jayne Allen, I am so excited to have you on Ratchet and Respectable. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's much better than I thought we were going to have when we, first endeavored to do this because there was such anger and vitriol.
There was, and we're going to talk about it. I'm not afraid.
No, let's break it down. Let's do it.
But I have questions before we get to like that part of it. I'm very curious. Did you think in 1999, probably before that, because the movie came out in 99, when you were writing these characters, this screenplay for The Best Man sometime in the 90s, did you ever think like 26 years later, we'd still be like engaging and obsessed with these characters?
No way. No, look. The exact year was 97. I wanted to time it with the release of Soul Food because I thought if this movie is successful, they'll be looking for the next Soul Food, which The Best Man is not the next Soul Food, but it's just about normal Black people living normal lives.
Yes.
The Best Man was a screenplay that I wasn't even intending when I first started to write it to direct. It was something I said to myself this exact thing. I'm going to write something so commercial that I'm going to sell it and use the money to fund another movie that I was trying to make at the time. But in the midst of writing it, I said, "Oh, I can direct this." So it was everything I liked about the kinds of movies that I liked: Big Chill, Diner, and I wanted to center it around four Black men surrounding a college reunion and a wedding where you could actually delve into some universal truths and relate to characters that I felt were relatable to me, particularly Black men, educated.
Why do you think people are so obsessed with these characters like going on 3 decades?
I think it's a reflection of us. I think that my intention in creating this work was to A, make a classic, B, get some characters that I felt were authentic. And I think everyone was ready for it. The acting community was ready for it. The studios were ready for it. And I think the audience was ready for it because they were craving other representations that felt more layered and complex. And again, universal. I think that it's a nostalgia piece a little bit. And those of us who are, in and around that age, 10-year swing on either side, we're like, I know these people. I am these people. My friends are these people. And fortunately for me, it's been something that people have always wanted to re-engage with.
Yes. Yes. Which character you most like?
Me?
Yeah.
All of them. But I think the easy answer is Harper. And also, someone to surprise you, is Jordan. Because I was, and still am to a degree, career obsessed. I think they are both career obsessed. I've learned to balance my stuff better than Harper and Jordan, for that matter. I would love to be Quentin, but I don't have those quick retorts that he does. I've always wanted to be that guy, but I've always been on the other end of that. I've been the merch in those situations. So it's an amalgam of characters for me.
For you. Jayne, who's your favorite? I shouldn't say favorite character. Which character you most like?
I think it would probably surprise people. I most like Jordan from a career perspective before becoming a writer, but from a personality perspective, I most like Shelby.
Shelby. Wow,
Yes.
interesting.
I love Shelby.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think you have that acerbic tongue that she does. Probably there's aspects of you that are Shelby. But we'll have to dig deeper on that. I'm gonna have to unpack that a little bit.
I love that there's so much collab happening here. Obviously, the Best Man franchise, it's been a movie and then another movie and then a TV series and now a book. How do we get to a book?
I mean, it was really, I felt like with Best Man final chapters that we were done. I felt like that was what we owed to the fans to wrap up this the story of this franchise, because we left people hanging on Best Man Holiday, and although it was a hopeful note, there was a lot of sadness in it. I didn't want to leave our fans with that. And plus, we needed to figure out what was happening with Quentin's wedding. But when I got to the end of that, it was very difficult to get all those actors back together. It was very difficult demands of the studio, budgetary, their formats and whatnot. And it at times could be frustrating for me. And I said, you know what? We did it. We're done. And I said, oh, that's it. But when the smoke cleared and the dust settled, I said, okay, I have always loved the written word. I had always loved the idea of writing a novel. I have fantasized about writing a novel. And I said, let me try my hand at this and continue the story. This way also, I could tell the story a continuation of these characters because fans kept saying, we want more, we want more.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, so here's a way to give them more and much quicker. I mean, if you recall, 14 years between movies,
Yes.
almost 10 years between the movie and the television series. So, hey, we got an express now. 3 years later, you got a book that's, I would say, just as engaging, and even more so than the movies, I think.
I mean, I wanted to throw it across the room, so which I've told you previously. So yeah, I
Into
would
the
say
ocean, into the
into the
ocean.
ocean. I said into the ocean because those there were scenes, there were times.
Yes.
I do books. Like I'm a journalist by trade, but I've also written books, and then I've also written for TV. It's 3 different kinds of writing. Like, were you any good at doing like the book thing, like out the gate? This is how Jayne goes to the picture. Like, hey, you need an assist?
No, here's the deal. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do this by myself. I never, written a book before, so I knew that not only, I needed somebody to kind of help show the ropes a little bit, but I needed someone to help me out because I wasn't gonna be able to do this because I do have a day job. There's a lot of demands on me. I wanted to team up with the Black woman writer, so I read a number of samples. I got to Jayne's and I liked her series, the Black Girl series,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Girls Must Die series. I reached out. I really loved her life experience. She had gone to law school. She had gone to Duke. I didn't love that going to Duke, but that's okay. I respect.
The Georgetown thing.
It's hard. At Harvard Law School, super accomplished. Had worked for Prince. Had worked in the makeup industry. An entrepreneur in her own right. So I just loved her world experience. And then on top of that, she says, "Okay, I got a question for you." I said, "Okay, what's up?" She's like, "Why are you doing this?" I said, I don't know. I don't think I understand your question." She said, do you want to win? Right. And I was like, whoa, like that. What a great question that was totally unexpected. And I really made me like, feel like, oh, the question behind the question was, are you in this, 100%? Are you just kind of like dabbling in this? Are you trying to really make a cultural impact? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to win all the time. I want to win. And I don't want to just be doing this as a vanity thing or just, I want to do something that I think is going to be culturally impactful. And so I really liked that perspective. And I was like, I think this is the one I want to work with.
Jayne, what is your collaboration process like? Like, how does this come together?
We had a lot of conversations about life, just life in general, because these characters are so well developed, they're well established, and they have rules for how they operate and they interact with their environment and each other. And so we had to really dig deep from life experience to bring another extension of that was going to feel authentic to fans, that also would show something insightful, that lets them get messy, that lets them go into parts of world experience and life experience that the average person might not be familiar with, but that it feels authentic.
It feels very authentic.
We wanted cinematic, we wanted authentic, and we wanted emotional, riveting, all of the things.
One of the things I said to Jayne was like, look, I'm not writing this so I can say, hey, Universal Pictures, Universal Television, buy this book. Here, it's not. I wanted the book to stand on its own, the series of books to stand on its own, and not just be cinematic because that's just kind of the language that I speak, but to be literary and to be emotional and to let's use words. I was an English major at Georgetown. This is real dialogue, and let's really get inside these characters' heads. You get to use all 5 senses. You get to get into these inner lives of these characters in ways that we had not gotten to do or see or experience with the 2 movies and the television series. And so that was a great opportunity to delve deeper into these characters in a way that I thought they deserved and that I wanted to explore as well.
I feel like sometimes like you went to places I wasn't comfortable with you going. I feel like one of y'all was like, in my DMs, in my diary, in my notes, something, listening to my phone calls, because there were certain things that happened in the book. And I was like, you pulled that from my life and I want my royalties for that.
Jayne, did you send her back her stuff? Your diary? Did you? Because I mean, oh, okay.
Please send me back my stuff. I would like now that you've, used it for your purposes.
We can't let people know what our tactics are here.
There is a line in the book where Harper is talking about his divorce, and he says something like he felt like he'd been kicked out of his own life. I'm divorced. So I was like, that's exactly the feeling that I was just like, this is uncomfortable.
That line is from a friend of mine, actually, that was divorced. You know,
See, I knew it. I knew it came from somebody.
Knock on wood. I'm not divorced, and I won't be divorced. That's a perspective, and that I knew nothing about, or personally. But speaking to people, and that's just like in regular conversation, not necessarily something that I was trying to find out. Unfortunately, I have some divorced friends, male friends, and this is what the kind of thing that they say. And so we've all written screenplays. Like it's restrictive. I find them sometimes, especially
Uh-huh.
in the very beginning of my career, I was like, man, like I have so much to say, and then I couldn't say it all. You can't use it, and the saying goes, you can't put it all in one screenplay. Save it for something else. I don't want to save it for something else this time. Let's do it in the book.
There's another line with Jordan. I mean, actually, I think Jordan's whole demeanor, actually, but she's had this very high powered career, and she's abruptly quit, and then she's kind of like in a what's next phase. And then her what's next is not going as smoothly as hoped for. It's very shocking when you're the person who's like, the clutch person, and then you kind of lose it. And so just reading about her losing it, and I was just like, oh my God, is this what it looks like? And it's chaotic.
I don't know. I don't know that I mean, Jayne, you please weigh in, but I don't know that I feel like, things. She's pretty happy. I mean, she's got herself a nice setup in Malibu. She got a nice car. She's got
Yeah.
disposable income because she's consulting. She doesn't have mate.
No, but she's got this big, what's next idea.
Right.
And then it doesn't go as planned. And she's used to things going as planned.
That is true.
For women in corporate paths, especially Black women, because I do think that following the rules is a survival mechanism a lot of times, especially for professional Black women. And so we do it to a T. And then you see Jordan break the rules and get off the path, which is what we get to see in great fiction and film and media. We get to see somebody that we can relate to do things that we wouldn't necessarily either have the courage to do or haven't done yet, and see a version of it playing out. And so, at least from my perspective, I thought it was really important to see Jordan in this way, where she's on a path of uncertainty, but she chose herself for all the right reasons. And she's in a place where it's not working out, because when you're on the corporate path, that's a prescribed path. It's if you do A, you're supposed to get, B out of it. And she did not get the full promise of what a corporate journey is supposed to give her. But on the other side of it now, she's charting her own course, but it's rocky. So what does she do? Does she give up? How does that affect her? And then we get to really see who she really is. When everything's stripped away, who is this woman? And I think part of the beauty of it for Black women to see is that she's still intact.
Mm-hmm. And she's trying other things, right? She's trying other suits. She's like, okay, first time in her life, she admits herself, you know what? Black women, strong Black women do need therapy. I'm going to try this. Am I totally comfortable with it? No, she's not, but she's trying.
Is. Robyn is also trying. Robyn drives me up a wall. She's ever since the very beginning of the series. It's just.
Why so?
In this book, I feel like she's just really whining about everything. And that upset me.
Got it. Interesting.
And I need to dig deeper with that, because usually when something is visceral like that with me, it's like I'm seeing something in myself, or I'm seeing something that I do that I don't like in me, and I'm projecting it onto that person. That's my therapy.
I think you're really onto something. I would love to have that be a conversation that, particularly again as Black women, that we have around this, because I think what we're seeing with Robyn is a certain type of vulnerability that we don't get afforded. Like, we don't get to not know what we want. We don't get to figure it out. We don't have that typically as Black women. That's not presented to us. It's like, you better know what you're doing and you better get to it, because there's not a lot undergirding, you if you fall. Like, you're responsible for taking the generation or the family, in this generation to the next place. So you got to have it together. So Robyn is a bit unusual, and I think that evokes feelings in us of like, this is not what we're supposed to do. Like this, I don't know this person. I don't trust her. I don't get this path. And then, not understanding so much how she feels almost entitled to it. So I would love to hear more of those conversations. I think it's amazing that you were able to kind of get in touch with, what's bugging you about her. Cause I had to ask myself the same question.
So you feel it
I
too.
do.
Well, she felt it from the beginning. One of the first conversations we had was like, I am Team Jordan all the way. I don't understand why Robyn did what she did. Da, da, da. But now you even hear her defending her, and get a greater understanding. Like that's what I really wanted. Also, a greater understanding of Robyn. I'm sorry that she's irking you that way, but I did want her to have a voice, a bigger voice in this than she's had, because a lot of people had issues with her from the very beginning, right? Because Jordan is so dynamic and so strong and so beautiful that you're just like, that's me, right? Well, that's who I want to be. And Robyn's like, oh, she's settling and she's this and she's whining about pregnancy and all these. She had a tougher road. And I think what Jayne is saying about what Black women are afforded and what they're expected to be is a lot of things that we are want to tackle in this book. Is Black womanhood and what they're expected to do. There were a lot of folks angry with her decision at the end of final chapters. And it sounds like people are still angry.
The Ghana decision essentially is what we're talking about, yeah?
Yeah. The Ghana decision to take me away.
And to take the kid. You could go. There was no need for her to take the baby, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I understand that. And by the way, like what happened in Kramer versus Kramer, right? Meryl Streep left. She left Dustin Hoffman and the kid. And it's like, what kind of mother is that, right? But then she came back and said, I want my son. There was no way she wanted to leave her child in the custody of Harper. Even though he's a great dad, she's like, I want her with me. She wanted to make a decision for herself. Will it have bad consequences for Mia? Maybe so. But it was a decision she thought she had to make at that particular time, because there was no way she was staying in a marriage that she felt was not reciprocal, and staying in a country that she felt no longer was serving her. She said, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
And I think that a lot of people are like, they don't recognize that. They don't see that. And it's like, there's no way that would happen. And I get the argument. I understand that she should just stick it out, because that's what most women do. They stick it out.
No, I don't think she should have stayed with him. Right. I think she should have left. And I think they probably never should have got married. But when I want to go somewhere and I'm like, oh, I must go now. And my dad was like, it's been there for thousands of years. It ain't going nowhere. Like, did she have to go to Ghana right then? She could have waited.
Waited into how much longer?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the timeline? Like life is short, right?
It is.
And she's never made a decision for herself. She's always considered everyone else, and never once considered herself and what was best for her.
But the baby.
Yeah,
the baby.
She's not a baby.
No.
Was she 7, 9?
9.
Malcolm will stir this pot.
I'm getting a good whiff. As I'm. Yeah.
I know that he's putting shoulder into it. Like this pot is about to.
Oh yes.
My other thing with Robyn, as you were speaking about her, Jayne, she doesn't ask for help.
No, she's flawed. There's no question about it. She should have asked for help. She should have been more vocal. We certainly, discussed that in final chapters. I think it was episode 6 where, they're in therapy, and the therapist tells her, you can't expect your mate to be a mind reader, right? You got to vocalize what you want. I think men and women don't always verbalize what they feel or what they want. They just kind of go with the flow. They go along to get along, right? It's cheaper to keep her. All those things, right? She's definitely flawed. And obviously all these characters are flawed. Sorry, Jayne, you had something else to say about that?
I wanted to add, when a book can do something special, it gives us more than just entertainment. It gives us a pathway for healing. And I think right now as a people, this is our healing time. And so to see, even if it's irksome, you know what I mean? But to do what you were saying, Demetria, that investigation, okay, why is this bothering me? Where is this living within me? I think a great book can push that button where at least it's there, and you can go visit that room within yourself And maybe this book is a catalyst to something else, to more questions and a better way of getting to know yourself. That would be something I would hope for. I mean, I don't want it to get on your nerves, but then I kind of do.
That's a sign that we're having like a visceral reaction, like we're fully invested as readers. Like I was driving myself insane, but like I love that there's a book that I actually care about enough to want to throw into the ocean.
I love that for you too.
Usually I'm just flipping pages and I'm like, how long till the end? Oh, it's page 300. Oh God, I've got 100 more pages to go. As opposed to like, I finish it and now I'm pissed because I'm like, I should have brought another book on vacation because now I ain't got nothing to read.
I love that for you, and I feel so bad about your sunburn. But I love that experience for you, though. Stop the
Thank you.
sunburn.
I was genuinely sunburned, like in the center of my chest. Like I was like, I didn't even think to roll over. Like just, yeah.
I would have never thought in a million years that it would be a 24-hour read or even a 48-hour read. I do hope that people feel very entertained and realize, wow, a book can do so much. A book can do sometimes more than what the screen can do. And so for people who might not be regular readers, this becomes more of a go-to form of entertainment. Because I think so much can be done in telling our stories, quicker to market, lower barriers to entry when we do it through a book. So I hope that this can do some of that work as well in, making people really love books. Just be looking for their next read now.
I just started listening to the audiobook. I'm like, yo, damn, this book is good.
Wait, when did you realize it was like after the book came out, you realized it was good? Malcolm.
I knew it was good. Just stay with me here. I knew it was good, but now I started listening to it and I was like, damn, we put some work into this thing.
We put some spin on it.
We put our foot in this. We put some steak on this right here.
Is this like your usual process? Like like when you make movies and TV?
When you make a movie, you test it, right? So like when we test Best Man Holiday, we test the Girls Trip before anybody saw any marketing materials. We put it in front of an audience and we see what happens. And they praising it, and you feel like, oh, this is good. I think this is going to work. And when you show it to them and they go nuts, you're like, this movie has playability. Again, I felt good about it, but I always manage my expectation. Jayne is the cheerleader. I'm like, he's like, oh my God, yeah. I'm like, okay, good. It's nice. And she's like, aren't you excited? I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. It's very good. I'm happy. But that's my personality. Keep expectations low and then hopefully deliver high.
If you get a compliment out of Malcolm, this is like compliment plus. This is like a 10x. He's so measured. Okay, that's nice. I didn't know that he started the audiobook, so the excitement is making me really happy. And there's so much that went into it. So it's exciting that people are actually receiving it. I mean, he went to Ghana to go pick up details to really bring that to life so that when you read that about Ghana, it should feel like you got to go. And some people who read the book may not get to go anytime soon, but they get the feel of it. They get an experience of it. Maybe it plants a seed in somebody's mind to go travel. We didn't do messiness or drama just for drama's sake. We wanted to model, how people work through conflict or don't, or, what that really looks like and show real conversations and vanity and vulnerability and all those. So that's exciting. And I'm thrilled that people are getting this. It's just now I'm just so happy that we can make this is available for people if it gives them a break of 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, even if you throw it in the ocean.
Don't throw it in the ocean.
If it gave you rest or it gave you an escape or it gave you happiness for just a little bit of time, I'm so happy with that.
Agreed.
With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet. But I'm trying not to waste money on pieces that I'll only wear once or for just one season. That's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and the quality is way beyond what you'd expect for the price. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that just clicks. Think 100% European linen tops starting at $30. Washable silk dresses and skirts and soft cotton sweaters. Versatile warm weather pieces that you'll reach for again and again. The best part? Everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Oh, and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. I love an expensive look for less. Few things make me happier. I picked up a really cute linen dress from Quince. I think I'll wear it to this wedding. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/ratchet for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/ratchet to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ratchet. I have two more questions or three more questions. Malcolm, can you talk to me about your experience in Ghana? When did you go? How long were you there?
I went last October. I'd heard many things about Ghana and wanted to. My wife had gone there for a visit. Of course, everybody heard about the return. So let me check it out. And so I thought it reminded me a little bit of the Caribbean.
For sure.
It's a city on the rise, is what I felt. There's a lot of construction everywhere. Very busy. There's a lot of energy there. I love being there where our ancestors were taken from. I love being, interacting with the people and eating the food and, experiencing the nightlife and all the things. It just gave me a deeper sense and understanding of the story that we were telling.
Yeah.
And what the experience was like. And, got this, meet with a number of chefs and restaurateurs, experience, the culinary scene and whatnot. And so it was fantastic. I would, I definitely want to return. I definitely want to spend more time there. At times, like very, very peaceful and, and like just being, alongside the shore.
Felt like you got the mood of it really well because I've lived there off and on for like the last 3 years, and I could tell. And it was like you either interviewed somebody like super, super, super in depth, and I know our friend Nicole, who is a writer on the TV series. So I was like, either he interviewed Nicole and she gave him like the pointers, or he actually went over to Ghana. So when you shared with me earlier that you'd actually gone over to Ghana and hung out with Nicole, I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
At first, I just talked to Nicole. I mean, when Jayne and I were developing storyline, the outline and stuff like that, talked to Nicole, talked to my friend Sidra. We did some online stuff or whatever, and then Jayne was like, we need to go. You need to really get. I said, you know what, you're probably right. And so then I started looking at tickets, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, the tickets are.
I'm gonna go, and I'll report back. It was a great experience, and I'm so glad I did it. I wish I could have spent longer, but I think we got a good feel. Just going into the markets and all these kinds of things. It just felt really good to be there.
Jayne, I think I cut you off. I apologize.
This book is really meant to be an experience, and I'm so excited that it is feeling that way for people. But there is a book club kit with the recipes, there's a playlist. But if you want a taste of Ghana, you can actually make it in your kitchen. I think one of them is a recipe from one of the dishes in the book.
Wait, where is this kit?
We'll send you one.
Okay, thank you.
I got to make some jollof rice myself in Nicole's kitchen.
How'd you do? Because my attempt was bad.
I did very well. You asked Nicole. I killed it.
I'll follow up. I'll see what she has to say.
And we know how Malcolm is about. He already told you he's measured, so it must have been pretty good if he said it was.
If he said it was good, I love. When are the next? There's 2 more books because it's a trilogy, obviously. When are the next books coming out?
Good question.
There's not a date yet. Are they written? Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us.
Malcolm, you're about to see some people with pitchforks.
We're working on something. We're working on it.
Like 2026.
What year is it now? 2025.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Listen, it will not be 14 years and it will not be 9 years. Okay, I can tell you that without a doubt, it will not be that long. But we also don't want to just give you any just BS. You have read the book now. Soon, other people are going to read the book, and a bar is going to be set. Right? We got to meet that bar.
Meet and exceed.
We have to at least meet the bar.
Minimum.
We can't just be like, here we go. It's flapjacks. There you go. Next one.
Not making flapjacks.
we're both very. We care about the story we're telling. We care about these characters. We care about the reader. We want to make sure that it's another full experience. And even better, look, this is my first attempt at a book. I want to be better in book 2.
Can you give us any insight into what book 2 or who book 2 is about? Because this one is Harper, Robyn, and Jordan.
The intention was to tell that love triangle and wrap it up in book 1. And then we would go on to Lance and his new bride, Jasmine. We go to Murch and Candace. And then book 3 would include perspectives from Quentin, Shelby. And then everyone would participate in that. So in book 2, we're also going to continue, as we are, as you noted in the last 2 chapters, there's more to tell between Harper, Robyn, and Jordan.
To put it mildly.
Yeah.
To put it very mildly.
Yeah. So we let a little cliffhanger. And by the way, that was not the intention. It was hey, let's wrap it up. And then as we were developing and pushing along and going through the first 2 drafts, both Jayne and our editor, Chelsea Johns, were like, but we should do this, or we can't have it like this. Or I was like, all right. But, I was pulling when they wanted to push and pushing when they wanted to pull.
And this is what y'all came up with.
and this is what we came up with. Wait. Don't have your readers feeling like, oh, this is a trash.
Oh, no, it's not trash. It's not trash at all. I don't want to give anybody that impression. But it's
okay. I just want to make sure. It makes you want to throw it.
It makes you want to throw. It makes you want to holler. It makes you want to scream. It's just like, why? What have you done to us? What have you done to us?
Because why? You want more closure, something, right?
In terms of storytelling, it's excellent. It's you've left us with we want more, and we need a date as soon as you have it. Because that's yeah.
We want more too.
You're gonna get this question for the next until it drops, however long it takes. Just FYI.
That's cool. I'm used to it.
It's fine.
It's I'm fine with that.
I'm very. I mean, listen. Between the Best Man movies and Girls Trip, people have been asking, like, well, what's the next thing? Okay, coming.
What is going on with Girls Trip? Because I interviewed Tracy a couple months ago, and she said something about Girls Trip in Ghana, and is that still?
It's coming.
Do I have to ask? Is there a date?
We're working on it.
Okay. All right. I've done my part. I've asked the question. Okay. I'll be patient. We're going to go whenever it comes out. You could hurry it along. Just on behalf of the people.
The people have spoken.
The people have spoken. And my last final question, I heard you say earlier that in terms of TV and on film, Best Man franchise is done. You repeated it several times, but I just want to follow up just to clarify. It's really done?
I don't understand the question.
No more Best Man on TV or on screens? I mean, I know you didn't write the books with the intention of turning the books into a screenplay, but now that they are being written and there's one already done, I mean, you got the intellectual property. You don't think that maybe we should convert this to a screen? A screen? No? Yes? Yes.
I mean, I will say that anything's possible. Right now, the intention is to write book number 2 and book number 3, and then anything that happens after that, we'll see.
What else are you working on right now? That's your day job.
One of them is bourbon that myself, Morris Chestnut, Harold Perrineau, and Tay Diggs have started, called Sable. So it's a very smooth bourbon. It's made in Kentucky. People should ask their local liquor store for it, because it's here and people love it. That's one. Then I'm also editing a movie right now that for Blumhouse and Universal Pictures that stars Lynn Whitfield and Chloe Bailey.
What's the name of it?
We don't have a name right now. It's untitled as of yet.
What's it about?
It's a coming of age story that's an erotic thriller.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got a date on that, do you?
I don't.
Malcolm.
I don't. It's not my fault. This one's not my fault.
Okay.
I'm at the mercy of studio and producers.
Fair.
Right now, waiting looks like a bottle of Sable. So
there you go.
You have some Sable, calm yourself.
And a playlist. There's a dope playlist.
Dope playlist. Yeah, 100%.
Have some jollof.
And Jayne, what about you?
I'm working on My next novel, I'm doing something a little bit different. It's Shapeshifters. And so it's similar to what I've done, rooting stories featuring Black women in the world that we recognize, but I've added a little bit of layers. So this is Shapeshifters, and I was a big fan of True Blood, so I'm bringing that with more of a focus and rooted in Black culture, a romance subplot, a spicy thriller with paranormal elements.
Look, as soon as you said True Blood, I was in because
Oh
like
yeah,
Tara and Eggs is now and just like that, Macabre Brooks. Yeah,
one of my favorite series of all time. So I wanted to take what the treatment that they gave to vampires, I wanted to give to shapeshifters and root it in more of a African-centered mythology. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Is there a date on that?
Next
Just so
year
I can tell people to look out.
is
Okay.
what they say.
Okay. When y'all have dates for your projects, please just let me know so I can put it on the calendar, so I can invite you back to come on the show, so I can tell people about it, so we can chat about it and all go support.
Fair enough.
We love it. Thank you so much.
You're super welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aren't they wonderful? I could have talked to them all day. I really wanted to go into the nitty-gritty of the book. Maybe I'll see if we can have them back, maybe like next month. He was like, I got a day job. I'm shooting a whole movie with Lynn Whitfield and Chloe Bailey. I got as much information as possible out of him on all his projects. Please support a Black bookstore when you order your book, and then we'll have a discussion about the book later. I'll do it as bonus episodes so you can still enjoy the podcast in case you haven't read the book. If you don't get a chance to read it by the time I do the bonus episodes, you can always go back and listen to them. All the Ratchet and Respectable episodes, like all, 500, 600 episodes are in the feed. So you can go back and listen to everything at any time. That's not everything. We definitely have a lot to cover this week. There's been some really big stories, sad stories. One of our TV cousins, TV brother to some, Malcolm Jamal Warner, passed away. I literally screamed when a friend texted me the TMZ story announcing his passing. We watched him grow up, like from the Cosby Show to the OJ story on FX to The Resident and so much more. I can't believe he's gone. I'll be back with a bonus episode that's more like our regular episode later this week. I gotta run to New Jersey later today, but I should be able to record on Thursday or Friday. Thanks for your patience, because we have a lot to cover. Like Shannon Sharpe retiring that young white girl? Allegedly. Talk soon. Bye.